Okay, first, that was very embarrassing. I must tell you, the reason I normally don't introduce myself with all that I've achieved is because it makes me embarrassed. Now I'm going to be even more embarrassed telling you all about the things I haven't done after that. Anyway, quickly, I mean, I've just been here in the afternoon and I just sat through the previous session that happened before tea break. And, you know, one of the things that seems to be, everyone keeps talking about, you know, how don't spend. I mean, any marketing guy here, please spend, because if you do not spend, I think half of us will be out of a job. And we are talking about a 20,000 crore advertising industry, so I hope all of you don't figure out how to do influencing, marketing and stuff like that, and you know, forget the fact that there are hundreds and thousands of lives that depend upon client spending. That's the first thing I want to say. And the second thing is that everyone seems to be talking digital. Okay, now I've got just a sheet of paper in front of me, which is an AC Nielsen report of how teens use media in the US. Okay, and all of us think US is extremely advanced. Okay, and probably the way the Indian media consumption is going to go amongst youth and teens here. So I'm just going to read out some highlights of it, and then I will actually tell you about what I think is a way to go, for example, for teens. Okay, this says first in the US, and this was a report that was released as late as the middle of 2009, which is about 6 to 8 months back. It says teens are not abandoning TV for new media. In fact, they watch more TV than ever, and it's up 6% over the past 5 years in the US. Okay, I might be contrary to everything that you've been hearing so far in the morning. The second thing is teens love the internet, but spend far less time browsing than adults. Teens spend 11 hours per month online, while most of the time adults are spending 29 hours online. The third thing that it says is that teens spend 35% less time watching online video than adults in the age group of 25 to 34, and this is all in the United States. Teens read newspapers, they listen to radio, and they even like advertising more than most. The fifth point that it makes is that the teens' favorite TV shows, the top websites, and the genre preferences across media are mostly the same as that of their parents. For US teens, American Idol still remains the top show, Google the top website, and general dramas are the preferred TV genres for teens across the world. And it sums up saying that, in a word, teens are normal. Discard the assumption that as a rule teens are alien and plan for them as you would for any demographic segment, because remind yourself teens are people too. Okay, I think somewhere along the line, this digital euphoria that seems to be monopolizing maybe people sitting in this room seems to be, you know, actually biasing all the decisions that we want to make in terms of media spends and marketing, which is really not the truth. Okay, having said that, okay, I think there are 5 things that normally you need to keep in mind when you're talking to any consumer, be it the teens, be it the housewife, be it, for example, males or whoever it is. The first thing is that it's exposure versus engagement. Okay, exposure is seeing an ad, engaging is connecting with the ad. The example she was talking about, Jagore, is an excellent example of an ad that exposes and also engages you, and it was not an internet campaign, it was a mass media campaign that used internet in order to get voter registrations and stuff like that. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the Indian youth, there is a Hindustani there and there is an Indian there. Okay, all of us seem to be talking about the hyper, you know, modern, hip, you know, Xavier student based in Bombay. But there is an Indian youth who probably is also studying in a government college in Karur. Okay, so the fact of it is that I think there has to be some reality check that needs to happen when we are talking about youth in this country. And the youth is not a Xavier student only, he is also a government college student in some small town. Okay, Ranbir Kapoor, who may be looking hip to a Xavier student, may be looking like an idiot to that guy, and maybe a Himesh Reshmiya who looks like an idiot to a Xavier's guy may actually be the hero to that guy. And I think we need to remember, you know, things like that, which I think somewhere we seem to be forgetting. And I think the best media example of a brand that encompasses the Xaviers in Bombay, and at the same time maybe that small town government college student is maybe the way MTV has evolved. I do not know how many of you know MTV, the brand, when it came into the country. It was 100% Western American pop music. Today it's 100% Hindi music. It still has program content like a Roadies, like a Splitsvilla, that identify itself with the urban youth and still has an offering that actually reaches that small town guy in some part of Maharashtra or MP or whatever it is. So I think that's the second thing that you need to remember when you're talking about youth in this country.